Hello friends, begin by placing 600 grams of ground beef into a large bowl. Add 2 eggs, letting them gently fall into the center of the meat. Now sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Start mixing everything with your hand, slowly at first. There's something very calming about this step, like the beginning of every homey meal our mothers used to prepare. Now add a little olive oil, a frying pan. Friends, I always enjoy knowing where you're from. Please share your city and country, and if you're in the US, let me know your state. While it warms, finely chop 1 onion. Take your time. The steady rhythm of chopping always brings me back to evenings when we helped our mothers in the kitchen, talking about our day as the onions release their lovely aroma. If you have any questions about the recipe, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, and I'll reply as soon as I can. Add the chopped onion to the warm pan and sauté it until it turns golden and fragrant. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, a like would be much appreciated. It's the best way to support me. Next, grate 1 carrot on the coarse side. Carrots bring a gentle sweetness, and they're full of beta-carotene, wonderful for the eyes and the immune system. Add the grated carrot to the onions. Let them cook together, stirring gently. You'll see how the colors soften, how the smells deepen. This is the moment the kitchen starts to feel alive. Finally, chop 2 cloves of garlic. Garlic is small, but it brings warmth, comfort, and so many benefits for health. Something our grandmothers always knew. Friends, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more recipes like this. Add it to the pan. Let all the vegetables fry together for a minute or 2. Now season the vegetables with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix well. When it's ready, take the pan off the heat. Add these warm, fragrant vegetables straight into the bowl with the ground beef. Finely chop a bunch of parsley. The bright green aroma always lifts the mood. Parsley carries vitamins, freshness, and that little spark of life every homemade dish needs. As I chop it, I always remember how my grandmother would gently rub the leaves between her fingers first. Add half of the chopped parsley to the beef mixture. Now sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of Provençal herbs, 2 tablespoons of ketchup or tomato paste, and 40 grams of breadcrumbs. Mix everything thoroughly one more time, making the filling soft, balanced, and full of flavor. Now, place 5 large potatoes into a pot. Pour in enough water to cover them. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Cook on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes. Once the potatoes are done, drain the water and let them cool slightly. Then slice them into small, even rings. Take your time with this step. The warm potatoes are soft and tender, and the gentle rhythm of slicing always feels a bit soothing, like those quiet moments in the kitchen when everything slows down. Shape small meatballs from the meat mixture. Smooth, round, gentle to the touch. Take your time here. The mixture feels soft and warm in your hands, and there's something almost calming about rolling each piece into a perfect little ball. It always reminds me of those evenings when the whole family cooked together, chatting while shaping dozens of meatballs for a big dinner. Make them all roughly the same size so they cook evenly later and look beautiful when we assemble our layers. Now take your baking dish, already lined with parchment paper. Using the sliced potatoes and the meatballs, begin assembling little sandwiches, layering a potato slice, a meatball, and another potato slice. Place them in a circle inside the baking dish. Repeat until the dish is full and looks like a little potato and meat wreath. In a bowl, crack 3 eggs. Add 70 milliliters of cream. One teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. and half a teaspoon of paprika. Whisk gently until everything blends together. Pour this mixture evenly into the baking dish. It will fill the spaces between the potato meat sandwiches and make everything soft and tender as it bakes. Now grate 7 ounces or 200 grams of soft cheese. It shreds so softly under the grater, almost melting at your touch. As the curls fall into the bowl, they release that gentle, creamy aroma that always reminds me of family dinners where cheese made every dish feel a little more comforting. Place it into a bowl. Add the remaining chopped parsley. Mix gently. This will be our fragrant topping. Sprinkle the cheese parsley mixture over the potatoes and meatballs. Bake in a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for 40 to 45 minutes until the top turns golden and the whole kitchen smells warm and inviting. Next, slice 150 grams of cherry tomatoes in half. Their bright, juicy centers always feel like tiny bursts of sunshine. They instantly make any salad look happier and fresher. Place them in a bowl. Now, finely chop 1 bell pepper. Take your time with this step, the crisp sound of the knife, the sweet aroma rising from the chopping board, the bright color. It all adds such life to the dish. Bell peppers are full of vitamin C too, bringing both flavor and goodness to the bowl. Add the chopped pepper in with the tomatoes. Now, chop a small bunch of cilantro. Its bright aroma always reminds me of summer gardens and fresh homemade meals. Add it to the bowl as well. In a frying pan, pour a little vegetable oil. Chop 150 grams of mushrooms. As you slice, you'll notice that gentle, earthy aroma rising up. Mushrooms always bring that cozy depth of flavor that reminds me of autumn kitchens and warm family dinners. They're also wonderfully nutritious, full of minerals and antioxidants that support energy and immunity. add them to the hot pan. Sauté until they turn golden brown and release their earthy aroma. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Stir well. Then remove from heat. In another bowl, add 2 tablespoons of sour cream or Greek yogurt, 1 teaspoon of whole grain mustard. Finely mince 1 clove of garlic. Add it in, then add the warm mushrooms. Stir until everything comes together into a creamy, savory dressing. Now add this dressing to the bowl with vegetables. Season with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix gently. The colors and aromas blend beautifully. When your main dish is ready, take it out of the oven. Cut a piece carefully. The layers will hold their shape beautifully. Place it on a plate. Add a scoop of the fresh mushroom vegetable salad on the side. And now, let's taste. The soft potatoes, the juicy meatballs, the creamy baked egg mixture, and the fragrant herbs all come together in a warm, comforting dish, perfect for family dinners. I hope this recipe brings the same comfort and joy to your table as it brings to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today, but don't go just yet. There's another cozy and tasty recipe I'd love to share with you. Let's begin by drizzling a little olive oil into a warm saucepan, just enough to lightly coat the bottom. Then add half a stick or about 60 grams of butter. Let it melt gently over medium heat. Once the butter is fully melted, sprinkle in 1 tablespoon of flour. Stir gently with a spatula until everything comes together into a smooth, silky paste. This is what keeps our sauce velvety and free of any lumps. Then add half a teaspoon of nutmeg and half a teaspoon of salt. Nutmeg brings a quiet, cozy warmth to the sauce, just a tiny pinch, and it suddenly tastes fuller and more comforting. Gradually pour in 2 cups or 500 milliliters of milk, stirring all the while. Don't rush this part. Adding the milk slowly helps the sauce thicken gently and naturally, turning smooth and creamy with every circle of the spatula. It's a quiet little transformation. Watching the butter and flour welcome the milk until everything becomes one silky, comforting sauce. Once it looks perfectly smooth and soft, take the pan off the heat and set it aside. Now fill a large pot with water. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Give it a quick stir. Cover the pot and bring the water to a boil. When it starts bubbling steadily, add 8 ounces or about 250 grams of pasta. Stir lightly to keep the pieces from sticking together. Let the pasta cook until it reaches that perfect al dente texture. While the pasta cooks, warm a little olive oil in a frying pan. Finely chop 1 onion, and don't rush this part. The steady rhythm of chopping always feels grounding, almost peaceful, like those moments long ago when we stood beside our mothers, helping in the kitchen. Add the onion to the warm pan. Within seconds, it releases that gentle sweetness that always makes a kitchen feel alive and welcoming. Now take 2 or 3 garlic cloves. Press them lightly under the flat side of a knife. Then mince them finely. The aroma of fresh garlic is like a small announcement that something delicious is on the way. Warm, inviting, impossible to resist. Add the garlic to the softened onions and stir for a minute or 2, just until the fragrance becomes richer and more comforting. Next, grate 1 carrot. There's something so charming about this step. The bright orange shreds, the soft sound of the grater, the faint sweetness that rises in the air. Carrot brings color, tenderness, and that natural sweetness that makes homemade dishes feel especially nurturing. Let it cook together with the onion for about 3 minutes, stirring gently as everything softens and blends. Now take 1 eggplant and grate it using the coarse side of your grater. Eggplant is such a lovely ingredient. It absorbs flavor like a sponge, turning soft, silky, and deeply comforting as it cooks. And it's full of antioxidants that support both heart and skin health. Transfer the grated eggplant to a bowl. Sprinkle it with 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. Pour in half a cup of water. Gently wash the eggplant with your hands. The same simple motion our grandmothers used to soften its flavor and remove any bitterness. Drain the water. Give it a gentle squeeze to remove the excess liquid. Add the eggplant to the pan with the onion and carrot. Stir everything together and let the vegetables cook for a few minutes until they blend into one warm, fragrant mixture. Now, place 1 pound or 450 grams of ground beef into the pan. Gently break it apart with a spatula and let it cook for 5 to 7 minutes, giving it time to brown slowly and evenly. No need to hurry here. When beef takes its time, it develops that deep, comforting flavor we love. And besides being wonderfully hearty, beef brings protein and iron that help keep our bodies strong and full of energy. Next, finely dice 1 ripe tomato. Tomatoes always feel like little pockets of sunshine, bright, juicy, and full of that gentle acidity that balances the richness of the meat. They're packed with vitamin C and lycopene, both so good for our heart and immune system. Add the tomato to the pan and give everything a soft stir, letting that freshness melt into the beef. Now add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, then 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of basil, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. Stir gently until the spices coat everything evenly. Pour in half a cup or 125 milliliters of water. Stir again and let the mixture simmer for about 10 minutes. This is my favorite stage, when the kitchen fills with that rich, savory aroma, and you can really feel the flavors settling together. While the sauce finishes quietly on the stove, check your pasta. Once it's cooked perfectly al dente, drain it and add it right into the pan with the meat and vegetables. Give everything a gentle mix so the pasta can soak up every drop of that delicious sauce. Then remove the pan from the heat. Now, take a square baking dish and drizzle a little olive oil across the bottom. Use a brush to spread it around gently. It's a simple motion, the same one my mom always used. Pour a light layer of the creamy bechamel sauce into the dish first. Next, spoon in a layer of the pasta mixed with the ground beef and vegetables. Smooth it out with the back of a spoon, almost like you're tucking the filling into a warm blanket. Add another thin layer of bechamel on top. It keeps the casserole tender and gives every bite that silky finish. Repeat with one more layer of pasta. And finally, spread the last of the sauce evenly over the surface. Now, grate 5 ounces, or about 150 grams, of red cheddar cheese. This part always feels a little magical. The soft curls of cheese falling from the grater, the warm, savory smell filling the kitchen. Sprinkle the cheddar generously over the top. This is what will melt into that irresistible golden crust once baked. Slide the dish into a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius and let it bake for about 30 minutes. While your casserole is in the oven, finely chop a small bunch of parsley. Fresh herbs add such a bright touch, a little burst of green that wakes up the whole dish. When the casserole is ready, take it out of the oven. Let it rest for a minute so the layers can settle, then slice it gently. Inside, you'll see the cozy layers: pasta, savory meat, and creamy sauce, all nestled together. Serve a warm slice. Scatter some parsley on top for color and freshness. And there it is, a meal that truly feels like home. Warm, comforting, and filled with those familiar flavors that make everyone gather a little closer. It's a touch of nostalgia, wrapped in care and baked to share. I hope it brings your family the same joy and cozy comfort it always brings to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today. Until next time, happy cooking!